Okay, here we go.
Hello. How are you people? How is everything going? Well, thank you for
Shit.
joining us. Thank you for joining us on Tuesday for just a random show, pretty much like everybody else is doing. We got a lot of stuff coming up this week. Tonight's going to be myself, Adam, and Mr. Kevin Morrissey from the band How We Burn, due to some stuff that came out this week, some recent videos on alien ships and stuff like that. There was a couple of conversations online back and forth with some people about when they came out, the aliens exist and all this
God
stuff.
damn it.
We've gone down this rabbit hole a couple times before. So Tom DeLonge, he's one of the members from Blink 182. He wrote a book when he was younger. When he was younger, he read all kinds of alien books when he was a kid. He was super fascinated in it, loved it, and just consumed everything as a kid. That was like one of his passions, as a nerd, if you want to call it. He nerded out on it. Anyways, as he got older, famous as you know, had enough scratch and enough money. Derek from Neva, I'll call you back. I'm on here right now, brother. Where was I? He wrote a book called Secret Machines, and the book was so accurate that it enacted the CIA to get in touch with him. And they sat him down and they questioned him. They wanted to know why he knew what he knew, where did he find all his information, all that kinds of stuff. So talking to a couple of guys, there was a couple of things, a couple of videos that were released this week. Adam will be joining us here in a second. He's just figuring out something on a watch party. Kevin Morrissey from the band How We Burn is going to join us because he's into some of that stuff. If any of you are, feel free to like, comment. We'll see some stuff up in the comments over here to the right as they pop in if you want to chat. And we'll get some stuff started. As the boys are getting their stuff ready, Adam's right there. I'm bringing him back in. Kevin's tying up a few things at the house real quick. He'll be on very, very, very soon. Later on this week, we're going to have a great week. With everything that's been going on, everyone locked down, market seems to be swamped with a lot of shows and stuff like that. It's really cool to see everybody doing their thing, which is awesome because some of them should be doing it because there's probably some very talented people out there that maybe a little camera shy or talking shy and stuff like that. And you can get over that. You can do anything that you want. What's up, Jen? What up, homie? I got to give you a call. I got a question for you about some stuff. Easy stuff. Good stuff. Anyways, I lost my train of thought. You guys know me. I have memory issues, whatever. This week's going to be great. So later on in the week, on Sunday, I'm glad you're here, Jen. That's what I wanted to call you about, was we have someone in the medical field. She's not a doctor. She sent me a resume and stuff like that. She corrected me on that. But she does own her own business, Holistic Vibrations, and we're going to be promoting that starting tomorrow. She specializes in the field. Her passions and research are stuff that has been psilocybin and MDMA for assistance with trauma, people with PTSD, extreme trauma, all kinds of stuff like that. But it also goes into more holistic approaches like yoga, therapy, plant nutrition, biofeedback, all kinds of stuff like that. And the community here in Massachusetts, Jen, as you all know, and anybody else that's watching, a lot of us are into that. I've had that conversation many, many times before, whether it's been good, bad, and different, my opinion or someone else's opinion. If the stuff works for anybody, please take it. If it works for you, if I could take a pill or whatever, or a plant, stuff like that, and cure my condition, I would. So there's been a lot of scuttlebutt back and forth. So I really wanted to get someone on that is somewhat of a specialist in their field, something that interests Adam, something that interests myself, and a lot of you that might be watching. So Sunday at 10 a.m., she's from the Midwest, so 10 a.m. her time, 11 a.m. her time, 10 a.m. ours. We'll make sure we don't screw that up when we post it out tomorrow. I really want to get some people in on this conversation when she comes on, because I've had good conversations about it, bad conversations, and all the indifferent, and it'd be nice to actually pick someone's brain that actually knows what they have going on. And then Tuesday, I can't explain this enough. Two of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. One recently, and one I've known since I was 14, 15 years old. My best friend, Curtis Riley. If you've seen some of the podcasts, Adam's been on with us. He's already smirking because he's already like, I can't wait till next week.
Yeah, kid's tremendous.
And Greg Tranquillo has been one of our guests who is just a wealth of smiles and humor on your faces. And he's got stories for days. And thank God for like, those two have never met. And I'm like giddy because you don't need to write anything to have a show with those two on. They're just amazing people. They're super funny. And those kinds of guests for Adam and myself, like we love that. Like I don't get to write anything and we know it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. So if you want to laugh next Tuesday, it'll be a full 2-hour show because we won't want to stop at 2 hours. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah,
so we got some good stuff coming up this week. Just want to let some stuff out there. Kevin's going to be joining us in a minute. I'm going to bust his chops the whole time until he comes on. Adam, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. I'm really looking forward to the doctor coming on.
Yeah.
Like we were saying, she specializes in like psilocybin therapy and like sort of different types of things that aren't usually done in like the medical field. Just my personal bias, it seems like when you go to like a psychologist or you go to someone in like the traditional medical thing for like a psychological issue, they'll throw some pills at you and they'll try to kind of get to the bottom of some shit. But with psilocybin, and things like this, it's sort of like you have to do the work yourself. Like you have to go in deep and like figure this shit out yourself, and she can help you, but it's more internal work. The work is more in you, where I feel like drugs is more just like masking. It's like masking the problems so you don't think about them, you don't deal with them, where her approach is more like deal with your shit head on, figure your shit out, and then move past that for the future. And that I can't wait to pick her brain on that kind of stuff because
and that's the thing. It'd be nice to pick someone's brain that's their field. They own the business,
Yeah.
Independent contract. Like that's what she's into. And we've discussed this to ad nauseum. I mean, your own personal opinions about this stuff and mine as well. Like to get off the pills, man. I could go over there. I don't need to. I could go over there and there's probably 9 pill bottles that are filled, except for one that I have to take for blood pressure. I got a cabinet filled of pill bottles. I've had arguments with mental health doctors that I've had, gotten new ones because they push. I don't want that. I'd rather find something that's grown on this earth. Maybe it can tap into my DNA system on a healthy way. You know what I mean? I don't want to be taking stuff. Not to mention when they feed you the pills, 50 milligrams to start. How is it 60 days after? Great. We're going to bump you up to 45. How is it 4 months? Up to 9? No, I'm done. So it'd be really nice. I'm so glad to have her on.
Yeah.
It would be good. So
can I ask you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, brother.
I was going to ask you, like, are you a spiritual person at all? Like, do you into like the hippie kind of stuff at all?
I believe in a higher power.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily believe that is a figure or a picture of a man or a woman or what it looks like or a light. I do believe that in your what did someone teach me? Your subconscious is actually called your unconscious, I believe, right?
Your id. Yeah.
Your unconscious, yeah. So like somewhere inside here, like I do speak if I need to by myself to someone. I think some of us all do that. But I don't necessarily believe in we've talked about this too.
Yeah, I got you.
The church stuff, you know what I mean? I don't think that there's a time and a place where you have to donate money to people that have raped children.
Sure.
That's a whole nother conversation, but I believe in a higher power. Yeah.
Yeah, so like have you ever like really been deep into meditation? What I mean by that is like you actually like not just like 5 or 10 minutes. I mean like gone deep, like 45, an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, and just like be present and just like let your consciousness just go. Do you know what I mean by that? And like the connection that you have with that. And I feel like to me, when I've done like psychedelics, like mushrooms, like psilocybin, like the doctor is prescribed, like it's just like it seems like those two things to me go hand in hand. Yeah. And I can almost get there. I can almost get to that like psychedelic feeling through meditation. And that's why I'm a hippie. Like I feel like the spiritual route and like the understanding of yourself, even if you don't believe in spirituality, just like the psychological aspect of it, of understanding yourself and figuring your shit and getting those things wired up in your brain in the correct way is probably the better route rather than forcing those things down and stuffing those things down, because they'll always come back. You can't hide that shit in the closet, man. Like your demons aren't going to go away. They're always going to be there. And when you just stuff them away with a pill, it's masking the problem. And that's why I appreciate this doctor so much, because she's getting to the root of the issue and she's helping you untangle those webs in your mind. And to me, basically the point is, like I'm saying, like meditation and psychedelics and things like the doctor is talking about, to me, it's like it goes also with psychotherapy and like shamanism and figuring your shit out for yourself. rather than masking with chemicals, I feel like. And that's my biased opinion on that.
Yeah, and I think going through right now and everybody's home, I think some people are starting to figure out, hey, hospitals are closed. You can't get that. You can't get this. You know what I mean? You might have to figure that stuff out. And that's why when she sent us some of her bio, sent it to you and I read it. I mean, it includes yoga, relaxation, meditation. I'm like, yeah, like that all in. There you go.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? And that's what we're into. Tonight though, I can't wait to talk
aliens.
About it. Trust me. Aliens. Okay.
That's right.
What this started because something that was on your page. I've discussed this, but we've never actually had a show about it because none of us want to talk about any of the crap that's going on anymore. Trust me, I have a reason to right now, and I don't want to. Tom DeLonge, Blank 182, right?
Yeah.
So this week on your page, I saw a couple comments, and it was a discussion about the fighter jets that were released. And I saw some of the people on your feed. Granted, you have, you're one of those people, you got like 5,000 people. So sometimes you don't even know who's going to comment, right?
Yeah.
And some of the comments, I think some of the stuff I read were, I'm tired of hearing politics about all this crap too, oh God, what was I saying? Where was I going? Memory loss. Where was I going?
You
Tom
were saying
DeLonge,
Tom DeLonge with the aliens and shit on my page.
Your page,
because I posted the thing.
And the comments I saw were, this is a Trump false alien flag. These are fake videos. These are fake videos. They're only releasing this right now. And I've gotten a little bit better only recently to really just, and a lot of what's been going on, just getting healthy and stuff like that, to just calm down when you see stupid stuff online like that. And I just couldn't stop shaking my head like, you have got to be kidding me. And the only reason why I did that was because we had talked about it a little bit. You had discussed this. And I don't know if you had just forgot, but I was like, yeah, Secret Machines. And this is the other book. It's a 2-book series. And anyways, it shows the video and there's a fighter pilot. And if you actually click on some of the links and you watch some of the YouTube videos, Tom DeLonge has all these people that work for him now in the aerospace industry. And they pretty much tell you flat out, like, yeah, that was in 2004 on the USS Nimitz. And the videos were released in 2007. So the fact that people thought that mayhem and aliens are coming with a virus right now, the world is ending, Kim Jong-un is invisible cloaks, not dead, alive, and just the alien stuff. I was like, we can go down this tonight because this would probably go 15, 16, 25, 75 different ways. That's why I can't wait for Kevin to get in here. If anybody's actually, Bobby, if you're in here right now and you want to hop on, or Jen, you're in here, anybody, you want to talk aliens, I'll send you the link right now. With Kevin?
Yeah.
Hello, Kevin, who wants to talk aliens? I'll send you a link.
Yeah, we need Kevin in this.
Yeah, so anyways, the video shows a fighter jet, and it's recorded, and the fighter pilot, I'm not going to get the exact words correct of what he said, but it was along the lines of he's following the jet and they're making maneuvers. And then the what he's following makes a maneuver that is not from this world, the way planes and helicopters and jets move. It didn't move and turn and roll. It just stopped, gone. And he's on there saying, that's not from this world. Like I'm paraphrasing, but he says something to that effect. Like
he does.
All the time I've had in the sky, I've never seen anything move like that.
All right.
So I was like, Bob says he needs the video. That's okay, bud.
Well, can I see something? Can I add something to this? The thing that's so crazy about this is these videos were on the internet. I don't know how they got there. I don't know if the Navy was putting them on there, but yesterday was the first time that the Pentagon acknowledged these things as real. And they validated those things. So they were saying the fighter pilot making those claims was real. The video was real. And it makes me wonder, why would they do that? Why would they come out and validate these things and say that these UFOs are real at a time like this? What is that? Why would they choose right now to say that that's real? What is that, you think?
This kind of goes into the fear mongering. I mean, what else? We need more stuff to fear right now. And that's we'll get into this. So Tom DeLonge started what's called To the Stars Academy. Okay. So a couple years ago, I got hooked. I like interesting stuff like that. It's out of the norm. Very interesting. You can just keep reading and finding what you want. I mean, we've always had this, question about aliens and Area 51 and this and that, which actually I'll show something tonight. I actually have a little bit of evidence of some stuff at Area 51 in a story.
Yes.
But we all believe it, but we don't, right? Everyone's skeptical on it. So
Yeah.
what we have is Tom DeLonge created a few years ago, I believe 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half. I have to look, but I don't want to hop on my phone right now. I was looking at it earlier. And To the Stars Academy, what that is when Tom wrote that book, and if I don't have all the facts right, it's been a while, okay? But like, correct me if I'm wrong. I have no problem being wrong. I'm just trying to get the basis of the information out there. You do with it what you want. He wrote the book, and what happened was that prompted the CIA to give him a call. Now,
Yeah.
pause right there. Blink 182 guitarist, rock star. He's the guy that discovered and made all these heads of the CIA, NASA, DOD, you name it, now work for him. How the hell does that happen? Come to find out, all the stuff that he read was so factual, the CIA was like, who put this book out? And they held him. And he got lambasted on the Joe Rogan podcast. We both watched it, and Joe thought he was nuts. Well, after he leaves that, right, then he launches To the Stars Academy. And it's not just him. On the stage, you have people like Stephen Justice, who is the head of Aerospace Division Director, Luis Elizondo, Director of Global Security and Special Programs, Chris Mellon, NSA advisor, people from NASA, and they're all like, this is who this is my resume, this is what I did. We now work for To the Stars Academy. And Luis Elizondo, if you actually go on the 36-minute launch for To the Stars Academy, you'll get into what that is he flat out explains, like, he gets up to talk, gives his little thing about who he is and his credentials, and he flat out says, this is real. Like, NASA, CIA, government, DOD, they don't go saying that stuff just because. And how did this rock star get these people who normally would never deal with something like that to get on stage and start to launch some of this stuff?
I think the idea is that, like, he is kind of a celebrity in a way, you know, and he has the ability to reach a lot of people. And he went on the Rogan Experience, and he's in Blink 182, and he has a voice in this world. And I think the idea is, like, they're using people like this to sort of, like, bleed the idea of extraterrestrials into, like, the public subconscious. Because if you were to sort of drop this on people, like, if all of a sudden the government would have come on tomorrow, you turn on the TV in the morning and you watch Fox News, CNN, whatever, and they tell you, oh, by the way, guys, aliens exist, okay? Fucking, there's Area 51, and there's all these UFOs, and Bob Lazar was right, and everybody was right, and this is, like, everyone would flip the fuck out. Like, all the religions would collapse. So the idea is, like, you...
Why do you think the religions? Do the religions ever talk about aliens, or they just don't believe in them?
Well, I mean, think about it. If all... It would be devastating to religions. Like, if all of a sudden you came out, like, if the news and the government was saying, oh, they had proof, they brought, like, a Martian on the thing, like, look at him, oh, isn't he funny? But think of what would happen to, like, Christianity and all these religions, because they never mention aliens in the Bible. They never mention aliens in any of these religious books. So they have this whole belief system that's predicated on this thing that isn't what they're saying on the news, if aliens are real at all. And it's a devastating belief system crusher for, like, religion and, like, all this shit. And so the idea is you bleed it in slowly and slowly and slowly until eventually one day you just kind of, like, disclosure, they call it, you know?
Yeah.
And you just introduce the Martian. You got the guy beside you, and you just bring him on TV. And here he is. He's the little green man. And he's got the thing. He's got the little ray gun, and you just introduce him to the world.
Did you just describe the character from Mars Attacks?
Yeah, that was what was in my mind when I just did that. That's right.
I don't see. We'll get into, like, what you write that down. What you think aliens would look like?
Yeah, but it's interesting. Are you like a Blink 182 fan?
To be honest with you, when I was younger, yeah. I mean, I think that was, like, very popular music back in the day. I was kind of into that rock scene and stuff like that. You know, still am. I'm a huge music lover. And I hope Kevin hops on here because of, dicking around on the guitar.
Yeah, man.
Stuff like that. But I loved their music. Then they broke up, and then he did the Something Mars project alone. And then
Angels and Airwaves?
Angels and Airwaves, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And then, they came back. I mean, I've always been a fan. You know who I actually like out of the band the most is Travis Barker. Not because he's famous, because that guy went through a roller coaster of shit a couple times. And now he's, like, one of the most sought after drummers. So you see him drumming for everybody right now. And he also runs a school for kids to train them how to drum and stuff like that. So I think he's pretty cool.
Oh, he's dope. And like as a drummer, like I play drum. I just like, I'm obsessed with like different types of awesome drummers. That dude is one of the dopest drummers that has ever existed ever.
Oh, hold
And
on. Hey, Kevin, send me your email,
yes.
bud. I'll pop you in right here real quick. So this is what he said to you, Adam. They did. They just labeled them as gods.
What?
He said they did. They just labeled them as gods.
What? Aliens?
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
Yes. Get him in here.
Yeah, I
Let's
want to
do
get him
it.
in because he also said I've talked to Kevin about this a bunch. Check this one out.
Yeah.
Aliens have been involved with us for a very, very long time, and that's what Tom and these people. That's what they explain. So kind of
Yeah.
back to what you were saying, how they ease you into society. That's what he explains to the Stars Academy is because they're already here. So what they're doing, that school is going to be like it's going to be like a two-part school. It's almost, from what I can understand, it is going to be like a school for the gifted, like younger people, not like 6, 7, 9, like maybe like a 10, 12, 15, 17 younger people that are in that field and geniuses. They want to put them in that program and help them build the plane that they're building. We'll get into that. And but the second part is they are putting a lot of that stuff into Hollywood and working with Hollywood so people see, oh, the alien's cool in the movie.
Right.
The alien's cool in the commercial, right? Because eventually it's going to happen, and let's just hope it doesn't look like fucking Medusa with 9 things coming out of its head and you try to have a conversation thinking it's not going to pull your face off.
Right. Well, there's also the idea that like these motherfuckers could be like bad. Like you've seen some of these movies, like the Tom Cruise movies, whatever that one is, where like they come and they fuck everything up, and Independence Day and thing. Like, what if they're bad? What if they're not good? There's always that possibility too, right?
There's bad humans, right? There's going to be a bad bunch.
Of course. Maybe they're reptiles or something. There's that conspiracy. There's the reptile aliens. But yeah, as far as Blink-182 goes, man, have you ever heard of that song "Aliens Exist"? It was on Enema of the State, their second album.
No.
It's fantastic. So basically,
you sent it to me. I didn't listen to it though. I was busy.
Yes. So basically, it's kind of the premise of the song is like he's a little kid and he's having like these like experiences as a kid, and he feels like he's being abducted by aliens, or he's having these like extraterrestrial experiences. A little child, and he's like, I'm not like you guys. Like I'm different. It's hard to explain unless you hear the song, but hopefully we can post that in the thing. But that's when I knew when I was like, that came out when I was maybe like 18 or 19 or some shit like this. And that's when I knew I fucking love that band because I related to that shit so much. It's because I was always obsessed with aliens. I always felt like that guy felt. And when I heard that song, it connected with me on a level that I couldn't explain.
Yeah.
And we'll hopefully link that in the thing. But Tom DeLonge is tremendous. Dude, have you ever heard of a guy, Bob Lazar?
Yes. You've referenced him before. Refresh my memory.
Bob Lazar was a guy who worked, you've heard of Area 51?
The evidence that I have is going to be presented to you from Area 51 on this camera in a little bit.
Okay, good. I can't wait. So Area 51 is like crazy shit, right? So apparently there's this even more crazy base called S4, and that's where Bob Lazar worked. And there's a documentary on Netflix about this, and if you can honestly watch that documentary on Netflix and not at least question whether this guy is telling the truth, like to me, it's a dead ringer. And then he went on the Rogan Experience. Anyway, he worked at this place S4, and apparently he was like back engineering like alien technology, and the government like had all these people involved. And like Edward Snowden was like the guy who like blew the whistle on the NSA. Well, Bob Lazar is like the Edward Snowden of aliens. So he blew so he in like the 80s, like the late 80s, he blew the whistle on aliens, and ever since, like the government's been after him, and like all this crazy shit's been happening. He's been saying he has this element 201 or some shit. I want to say it is. I don't know. He has all the shit, and they have a Netflix documentary about him, and it's crazy because the government is still after him to this day. It makes you wonder, like, if this guy's full of shit, then why would the FBI be raiding his lab all the time? Why would the CIA be doing all this shit? It's like it gives credence to it, and I want to believe him. Like I feel like I have a pretty good like bullshit detector, and when I see him on the Rogan Experience, and Rogan's prodding him and pruning him and taking a fine tooth comb through all the shit he's saying, and he's still making sense, and I think that he actually believes he's telling the truth. Whether or not he's actually telling the truth is another story, but I think he is, me personally. But
Yeah.
It's fascinating, dude. Because once you get into that world, it's like the government is definitely covering up aliens. There's no question about it. Once you like start looking at that, to me,
That's what I mean. I mean, they discuss how he discusses how he was held, right? So the information, they were so like, is this guy a spy? You know what I mean? So
yeah,
they held him for like a day and a half, and it was just like,
yeah,
I want to go. And then that's when the conversations opened up. And that's how he got in touch with these people, right? So they discuss
yeah.
how they have elements that are on Earth that aren't in the elemental table, that don't exist.
Right.
Or I like to say, because some of the Earth is still, I was thinking about this the other day, undiscovered. Sorry, some of the ocean is undiscovered. There could be something down there, whatever. But
Of course,
yeah, you know what I mean? And
dude. Yeah, man. When you think about the size of the universe, I mean, like, think about it. We're on one little tiny fucking planet in the Milky Way galaxy. We're in a solar system amongst a galaxy when there's billions of solar systems.
Kevin's going to join us.
Billions of galaxies.
Kevin, go ahead. Kevin's going to join us. I'm going to start flip from page.
Okay.
You'll see me. Yep.
All right. So you know what I mean? The concept of that. We're on this one planet in a solar system where there's billions of solar systems in this galaxy, and then there's billions of galaxies. The idea that we're alone in this universe, that this whole thing is for us to just fucking eat Taco Bell and, you know, watch American Idol, like, that's ridiculous to me. Like, I think that there is probably shit going on in this universe, like Star Wars, Star Trek, Beam Me Up, Scotty type of shit that would blow our fucking minds, and we couldn't even possibly believe the technology that there is. I think there's probably civilizations that have been around for millions of years longer than us, that are millions of years ahead of us in technology. And I think that shit's really going on out there.
Do you think the Mayans had interaction with aliens?
Yeah, and I think it was through psychedelics, though. I
Really?
think that's how they communicated with aliens. Yeah, it was through psychedelics. Have you ever? Did you ever get deep into?
Now we're getting into it, dude.
All right,
Kevin's joining us. I just sent him an email. I just sent it, bro.
Okay, that sounds crazy. But have you ever got like real deep into psychedelics? Like, have you ever gone deep, taken like a quarter?
Oh, okay. So you want to talk about drug use? Yeah. When I was young, well, let me rephrase. Stop. Don't take that out. I'm sorry. People have to realize we come from a time when it was considered horrible. You know, people growing up now where everything's great. You ever notice how you still sit there like, I'll go meet my person and everything's kosher. It doesn't matter if I had an ounce in my pocket. The cop's not going to say anything, but you still do the.
Yeah.
You know,
we're trained like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you say the word drugs, just hits me like a knife in the chest. Like, oh, you want to talk about drug use? But yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yes, I have. When I was younger, you know, I've done I haven't done that stuff in years. I actually discussed possibly microdosing here, just psilocybin to see how it works. Just because I've been getting super healthy and clean with this quarantine. I've lost weight. I haven't drank.
Good.
Eaten clean. We've been crushing projects. You know, I'm down to 217. Like, just I'm dropping to 199 so I can see the scale. Anyways, and then and then just build back up to 210 because it's the perfect weight for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have. I mean, I've taken mushrooms. I've taken ecstasy. I've done MDMA. I've done microdots. People might not remember what those were.
Did you see aliens? Did you see aliens on psychedelics?
You know what? And people don't judge me. I'm a homeowner, father of 3. I'm not a bad person. But I grew up in a town where drug use at that time, unfortunately, the town I live in, we've discussed this before, had it right when I was there, the drug stuff between like sophomore and junior year, boom. So it opened up. So I did a lot of drugs like a lot of people, left that stuff behind years ago. But yes, one night, girl I was dating, I won't reference her name. That doesn't matter. But she was with me and we were geeking, but we were tripping. We took some acid and then Robitussin. That was stupid. So I was so fucked up, and I think most of it was in the Robitussin. People, I can't smell the stuff. I did it like 5 times. A lot of us did. Don't judge me. I was a kid. I was stupid. I was left to raise myself.
Okay.
I told her that night. I was so fucked up. I'm like, do you see the aliens? I'm like, the aliens are right here. Random people going into the Shaws were aliens to me. Kevin, you're right there. What up? What's up, brother?
Yeah.
Not much. How you doing?
Good. How are you? You got a volume? Yeah, turn it up a little bit if you can.
I am well.
Nice. I'm glad you joined us. We discussed some of this. We've never done a whole show on it. I don't know if you heard, like, this came up because of conversations and videos, and I'm like, you know what? Let's have this conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you believe in aliens? And I know you do.
Yes, sir, I do.
Why do
Mhm.
you?
There's so much evidence out there as to them being around us and having different contacts with different societies. If you look at back
Yes.
at a lot of the drawings in different cultures, they're all depicting the same things as you're talking about earlier with, spaceships and them coming down, as them depicting them as chariots of fire and smoke and lightning coming out of it, which is pretty much a representation of what those societies would depict spaceships to be.
I was always very, very interested. I really haven't dove into the Mayan culture, but that seems to be like the one where there's just way too much stuff there to avoid. There's way too much evidence and artifacts and scripture, and just there's just too much. You know what I mean? Like, how do they make the calendar? How do they make it off? Like, how did they do that? But you see those statues around the world, like you've probably referenced, Adam. You might have too, Kevin. You as well. Large, huge beings with us. Where are they?
Well,
You know what I
wait a
mean?
minute. Here's the thing. It's not just the Mayans, dude. Like the first ever civilization ever on Earth was in Samaria. It was like that is the first ever. And for some reason, they had the ability to be like wizards at like geometry and like architecture and all this crazy shit with no predecessors to base this information on. They knew all about how the solar system was set up. They knew all about how the galaxy was set up with no predecessors to base this information on. And they worship these people, these gods, they call them gods, called the Anunnaki, right? And in that language, and that the Anunnaki,
Okay.
and what that translates into that Mesopotamian language is into English is something like those from the heavens to earth come. Those were the gods they worship, and this was the first ever human civilization. And then after that, the Egyptians, like you said, the Mayans. It just seems like this is right throughout history of like alien interaction with. It seems like to me, you know what I mean? And that just might be because I'm a stoner.
That kind of work with the galaxy too, on different
Right.
median points, the magnetic fields within our
Right.
Earth itself. They set these different areas to work and their best benefit. And it's funny is that they haven't really been. I mean, it's been out there. You know, people think about aliens and so on and so forth. But like I was saying before, they weren't as reserved to come down and be open about themselves back when, they didn't have society going crazy about stuff like that. You were saying
They probably also saw some. They probably also saw some basic stock humans getting run out. You know what I mean? With like no thought process, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's dude. There's tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of evidence all over the world of
everywhere. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Dude,
everywhere.
We're idiotic to think that we're the only meat suits and or whatnot throughout this whole.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. As a person, like I've been to Egypt, dude. Like I've seen these things, and even as a young kid, I might have been there when I was like 11 or something. The last time I was there, and this is before I like smoked weed. This was before I seen anything on the History Channel, Ancient Aliens, anything. I remember being in there 10, 11 years old, thinking to myself, "Things were built by aliens, dude." Like this is the feeling I had as a young child. And then come to find out, just after watching shit and after looking at shit, and it's just like there's so many things that it's just like, yo,
yeah,
the aliens have
blocks, dude. It would have taken thousands and thousands and thousands of people.
You know what I mean?
Centuries to even move these blocks. Never mind put them up into huge structures.
Right, and like you were saying before, like the way they're on these meridian lines. And the height of the pyramids, the circumference of them, they're all in these like geometric patterns that like mathematically. Yeah, dude.
It works with the solar system and everything. They set it up in a certain way. It's really cool when you really start looking into it. And it's a shame that, like you're saying, most people would have a freak out about that, knowing that aliens do exist. I was talking to my aunt on the phone. They were kind of keeping in touch with me after my mom passed away. And I was telling her how I believe that, there are aliens throughout here, and we're crazy for thinking that there aren't any aliens. And like as she was like hanging up the phone, she thought she had hung up the phone and like didn't hang up the phone. And she's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, you've been led to believe that, you know, we're the only people throughout this whole galaxy and whatnot. And, you know, I can kind of understand why she thinks I'm crazy, but a lot of the people that are woke and do understand this stuff have been labeled as crazy throughout our society anyway. So
yeah,
if I'm crazy and I know the truth, I'd rather be crazy than a sheep walking around and just taking in all this crap.
I will pause for 1 second. Kevin just hit on a really good segue. I'll be quick. People are crazy. I can't remember the gentleman's name. I'm looking at this gentleman's name. I can't give that to you, but I can show you some of his stuff that doesn't have his name on it. The gentleman's name that actually was the first on the ground in Roswell, he's passed away since. I forget his name. I don't remember it. But that was a friend of this individual, what I'm about to show you. So guy came into my office. He was a veteran. And all he wants is hearing aids. We have discussed hearing aids because he's deaf. Well, his job was he was a heavy bomber, flight pilot. Like he was a pilot bomber. You know what I mean? So he's dropping bombs all day. Right? He just wants hearing aids. 94, still works. Still has wits about him. Still runs his own business. Guy's great. Well, he was the second person. He comes to my office and he's the second person on the ground in Roswell. Now, I've had some stories come into my office. Pretty good judge of character, especially when people trying to get money and health benefits from you, right? It's like, okay. But when stuff like that comes in, I'm like, well, he came in with his daughter. And I'm like thinking the guy's, 94, he's out of his damn mind. Well, unfortunately for me, this was like where I really was like, this is serious. He had pictures, he had documents, he had all kinds of stuff. This gentleman has his flight record, okay? And his flight records on, I'll just do this F. I'll do this F, yeah. So his flight records is, yep, I cover his name. His flight records, if you read, you can see Roswell.
No shit.
Okay, so this gentleman was the second person on the ground. He had pictures. He has his flight log. He's also the same individual that dropped the bomb at Bikini Island. So
Get the fuck out of here. You know this guy?
I do his claim. I do his paperwork, bro. So
was it a weather balloon?
He tested the nuke. He tested them. And then he got reassigned to Area 51. And that happened. He was the second dude on the ground. He's like, they exist. I'm like, yeah. Folder opens. Not like printed pictures from the internet. Like old film here with shit that wasn't human. I was like, that needs to stay in that folder. So he's what you call a standalone veteran. Standalone veterans are when the government goes, shh, you're 100% shut up and go away. So even when I enter his stuff into the system, we have probably 4,000 veterans we represent a year. I only have 3. I'll have his paperwork. This paperwork, I entered into the federal government with them. Boom. I have it. 5 minutes later, boom, gone.
What do you mean gone?
All of his records that I physically have on my federal system are completely gone.
What?
You usually get an email and a phone call. That veteran, he's all set. Click. Yeah.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
That means leave it alone.
That means leave it alone. Yeah, that means leave it alone.
Shit.
We have a guy on our case. You can't make this up, man. And I want to get back to aliens. I'll leave you this real quick, though. He actually was in World War II, and he was on a submarine that the United States lied to itself. They sunk another U.S. submarine and said it was Russian, lied, killed everybody. They were all under a gag order. Get this. For fucking like 70 years. I thought everyone was going to dead. He's the only one alive. They call, give him 100%, shut up, leave it alone. Because they don't want that story out there. We had a guy that he had Castro in his sights, paper gone. They don't want that story out there. That guy's fucked because he could have ended it. He had him in the scope for 8 hours.
What is that? Do you think they like had an interest in keeping Castro alive? Is that what that is?
They had him in a scope for 8 hours.
Why wouldn't they kill him then?
I don't know. That's why the guy's like, I could have ended a whole country's turmoil, whatever. But back to the aliens, same thing. This guy's got his evidence. I have it right here. I go onto my system. See you later. Goodbye. It's gone. And I love stuff like that. When he was showing me this stuff, I was like,
dude, have you guys ever heard the Ronald Reagan speech he did at the UN, the United Nations, where he was saying, basically the idea of this speech is he was saying like, because you know the world, this is back in the 80s, it was like the Cold War where the United States and Russia were like the two superpowers beefing with each other and shit. So basically the idea is he was saying is like, imagine what would happen to the world if we had an existential threat from the outside, how quickly we would come together against this threat. And at the end he says, is it so hard to believe that this threat might already be here? That's what he said at the United fucking Nations, dude, in the 80s. And that's like one of the go-to like conspiracy theorists, like look at Ronald Reagan said aliens. And he kind of was, dude.
You have knowledge on your pay grade. So you know, like
what is it?
Like on your pay grade, you know, you have knowledge. You're given knowledge as to what you need to know.
Yeah.
You know, and they through social media and movies and whatnot have been telling us things and
they means the CIA
leading us down.
Thank you, Ryan.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. She's right. She's goddamn right. Yeah.
What do you? I mean, I've looked at a bunch of videos, and you don't know what's right, what's Photoshop, whatever. You can't believe anything on the internet anyway. It's like, what do you think they'd look like? You know, do you think it'd be like Men in Black? Do you think
just like there's different races and sizes and shapes of people, there's different types of aliens.
Most aliens are humanoid, though.
Why? What makes you say that?
Like, what do you mean? Like they have gills, or like they have
that we're dealing with in our density here.
Consciousness.
In like the 3D.
Some human beings hold alien soul. Also, they could be part alien soul and part human soul. So,
have you ever gone to any? Do you know any experts that? Because I'm sure you've obviously both of you gone down this road. Either one of you. Do you know any experts that do like tours and stuff like that, where you go actually like see them speak for like an hour and be like, okay, all right, cool. Ask some questions if you wanted to.
David Icke.
My dad took me to this thing in Concord, New Hampshire once when I was like, I don't know, I would say like early teenage years, and it was these people channeling. They were channeling extraterrestrials, but they were making these noises like so as like a 14-year-old, I was just cracking up laughing. Like I ended up having to leave because it was so funny to me. Like I really didn't take it seriously, but I did have an experience with people that literally thought they were channeling extraterrestrials. So
I know what you're talking about right now. You talking about Palladians?
Do that kind of thing.
And they call Palladians? Are you talking about
I know what the Palladians are. The Palladians, they're more like tall.
They're lovey-dovey hippies.
Channel too. Do you know what channeling? Like, do you know about channeling?
Yeah, but everything is vibrations too, anyways, and tones and so on and so forth. And if you really start to break down isochronic tones and different binary beats and whatnot, it has different effects and different lines of communication. It opens you up to different ways of receiving communication too.
For real, dude. Yeah, absolutely.
It's funny Maya said that too, because like you know, I had a guy in the military, one of the very good friend of mine, go out every weekend, board, party, whatever, this, that, the other. He found God's great. But he found like that real intense religion. So like we went to a prayer. He's like, you want to go to prayer night? I'm like, you know, I'm a friend. Try to support him even though I don't want to go. Okay, drag me with you, you know, type of deal. And then we went to prayer night, and it was the same thing like what Maya was just saying. And prayer night starts for a straight hour. Everyone's sitting down. Everyone gets up, starts moving, walking, doing it. And they're, I'm like, what the hell is this cockamamie? He's like, we're talking to God. I was like, the fuck they are?
Well,
they call it speaking in
tongues. Yeah, speaking in tongues. But like, same church.
It means they're close to God. And like Maya was posting as we're moving into different dimensions. That the closer that we get to the 7th dimension is the closer that you get to God, which is.
Explain to me what the 7th dimension. You've explained it before, but if anybody's listening, they don't know what it is.
So,
Get the expert.
So like, it's hard for me to explain stuff, but so there's like this creator energy that creates this creator energy, and when the creator energy decided to make everything like that's in the universe, it's split into like the 7 tones, you know, like do re mi fa sol la ti do. It's all like,
Okay. Yep.
It relates with that. So like megahertz, musical tones, colors, it all rides in that same
Geometrical shapes.
It's almost kind of like when people say they can hear God. It's just like a sound.
Yeah, so right now, like where Earthlings are in our like density, because everything is a vibrational attraction of like matter. So everything is light energy and sound energy that attracts to each other. So like you have to work within the Holy Trinity and the magnetic field, so you're attracting like sound and light waves that are like each other. So everything around you, you're manifesting based off your thoughts, feelings, and actions.
Absolutely. That's like The Secret, like that book, The Secret, or the movie The Secret, if you've ever seen that.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Sort of. What is like, all right, so we have like 3 dimensions, like the first, second, and third dimension. We all know what that shit is. What would like the 4th, we're going to the 7th. What would the 4th dimension be like? Or the 5th dimension? Like what is that?
We as Earth are moving into the 5th dimension, and the 5th dimension is based off.
We are? Like the planet itself? Oh, cool.
Yes. The
Cool.
What does that mean?
Holy crap.
It's the thing we're all going through right now. Which is why like a lot of people are explaining like everything, even like this whole COVID thing is all like kind of has to do with like all of us as a part moving into this other dimension and things that we need to do, and how like the whole CIA and deep state draconian like thing going on, and how the other extraterrestrials, because they've seeded the Earth obviously, and they've been helping us since before humans have even been here, because they have to take things from all other places, I'm sure in this galaxy and others, to seed places, and then they watch it grow. So they're not going to let anything happen like nuclear war or anything like that. So we're at a point right now where all of that negativity is getting weeded out. So there's like a lot of like deep state arrests, and like how all that stuff with like Jeffrey Epstein and the pedophilia stuff.
You know what, Maya? I'm glad you just said that. Did you watch the Pedogate stuff? Did you watch that?
I've known about Pizzagate and stuff since I was a kid. It's a big.
Did you watch like there was a precursor? There was a precursor. Sorry for interrupting you. There was a precursor before that too that tied it in. And that's my point for saying this is that's like the 3rd time this week I've heard the CIA dipping their shit in some stuff all over the place. Hollywood, like I left that. I got that in the link. You know how you scroll sometimes? I'm like, all right, I'll click on this for a minute. I'm like, this. 3 hours later, I was like,
Sean, are you talking about the movie Out of Shadows? Is that what you watched?
Yeah, it's tied in with Pedogate. Yeah, they tie in.
Yeah, man. Yo. What the fuck is that?
We can talk about that. That's a whole.
Yo. Dude, what is going on? It's like the world's being run by like these psychopath fucking pedophile, like.
You know what it was? You know what it was that got me? It was Maya, I'm directing this to you. Like it was, I really had the aha moment when he lays out, when he goes through the website. That's a professional lingerie website, right? And then you tag the picture of the kids, and then it shows up on the website. I was like,
yo,
how does the IT on that website not know that?
It's disgusting.
It is.
It's hard to watch that and not think.
Adam, lay out for people who may not have seen it what it's about, because you're good at laying that stuff out.
Oh man, I don't even know how to even begin doing that. It's just like, it's basically what this movie is basically saying is like Hollywood and like Jeffrey Epstein is just only scratching the surface. Like this shit runs deep. Like what's the other dude's name there? He's the producer in Hollywood. He just went to jail. Weinstein. These people like this, that's just scratching the surface. This is how shit rolls in Hollywood. This is how shit rolls in the government. These people are fucked. Like they do crazy shit that if I would even describe right now would be shocking to people. But if I would recommend a good insight into this, I don't know how this gets debunked. I don't know how it's possible, but it's called Out of Shadows.
And you have to type it in all capitals or it won't come up on YouTube because they're shadow banning it.
Yeah, and it's shocking to watch because these are the people that are running the world, and these are the people that are influencing everybody in Hollywood and in politics and shit, and they're in like this like cult
and they're
of like
draconian aliens.
You think they are? Are they reptiles? Is that what it is?
Yeah, they're reptiles.
Well, they didn't say that in the movie, but they go
find other information that leads all that and connects.
Yeah,
you can connect the dots.
Yeah. Well, big
videos.
Yeah. Anybody that doesn't know what we're talking about, just brief explanation. It ties in pedophilia with the CIA, with the government, with famous Hollywood people that you know and support. So it's pretty disgusting. And it's not just like fodder, it's video evidence, and they lay the whole story out. It's like, wow.
Yeah.
It's a really well put together documentary.
Yeah.
I liked the way the guy laid it out, and I liked how he would pause and go fat, and then he perfectly laid it. Boom, boom, boom.
Man. He was in Hollywood. He was a stunt man in Hollywood. And he saw all the shit firsthand. And he would hear the rumblings and shit, but he didn't really know what they were talking about. And then him and his buddy started kind of putting two and two together and figuring shit out. And then they made this documentary and kind of laid it all out. And they had a bunch of whistleblowers on there about the Jeffrey Epstein thing and the Weinstein thing and all this shit. And all these top, all the Podesta emails with Pizzagate and all this shit. It's fucking... Yo,
it's disgusting. You know what I mean?
Disgusting.
It's like,
but these are the people that are running the world. So when I see these people on the news telling you, "Oh, we have this disease. You need to do all the shit we're telling you," I'm like, wait, aren't you the same people that are worshiping Satan and like fucking Pizzagate and all this shit? Why the fuck would I ever believe anything you say when you're like doing all this crazy shit, pedophile, drinking kids' blood? Like what? Like I don't know. That's just if you choose to believe that shit. And it seems to me, when I watch that video, it's pretty hard not to at least put some credence into that shit. And that's just me, but I'm a conspiracy theorist. But
it is. Yeah. What's your silly question? Because you referenced Mars Attack earlier. What's your favorite alien movie?
Yeah, let's get off this crazy shit.
What's the most realistic, you think?
Independence Day.
All right, if we're gonna get off crazy shit, I'm gonna give you back to Kevin.
There's quite a few good ones. Jeez, Independence Day is it's a good movie. I mean, it had great graphics. I mean, comparatively to some of the alien movies that we've seen, I mean, the graphics were
man. Absolutely. Like when the buildings are blown up and shit.
I haven't seen. I'm trying to think. Right, you got what's that old one with Dreyfus in it?
I don't know if it would get to that point because, like Maya was saying, like the aliens have come here and fought battles before, and that's where you see the good and the evil aspect of it, as the depictions, as the drawings and stuff like that, in caves and different areas of the world.
Well, they also don't eat. Some extraterrestrials feed off of energy, so they want to make us be in like war so that they can
feed off that negative energy, and that's what she was saying too, with that negativity, that vibration. You feel when people get mad at you, you feel that, dude. It's like a vibrational thing. Mm-hmm. Or even when somebody's happy or whatnot, you have that different vibrational thing. And that's like she was saying, they're trying to keep us in that low field, so we're just hating on each other and not pulling together as a society. And you were saying,
and we can see it. You can see it. Like if I piss you off, you can see it. Like you see, like you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, you can definitely see it, and you can sense it. You know, we can all sense it. I know when I've had someone behind me that I necessarily didn't want to have a conversation with, they were bugging me and pissing me off.
Absolutely.
I'm like, you know what I mean? You do give that off. I never thought about that.
Sometimes I'm like that with myself. I'm like, damn, I piss myself off sometimes.
This is a PG, dude. PG.
Sorry, PG.
Yeah. Well, let me
Mars
ask you, Kevin.
Attacks sucked, and I'm not a huge fan of Independence Day. I didn't see the last Men in Black. I did like that old movie. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. It's one of the most famous movies, The Mountain, right? The kid makes the thing. I think Drive It. They have to go to the mountain.
Yeah, Ride the
Oh,
Magic.
Cloverfield?
No, that's a new one. The older one. From the
Ride the
80s.
Magic Mountain or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. Where like he's obsessed with the mountain, right? And he's flocked to it. Maybe
I don't know.
he felt energy. I forget what it was. Like he makes a little bottle of it and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Whatever.
Different areas of the world have different vibrational things. There are areas in Ireland where they have huge stones in the ground, and when you put your hands on it, you can actually feel the energy that's coming off of these things.
Sure.
It's amazing.
And that's like
Dude, the Bermuda Triangle. That's a portal.
Perfect
It's
example.
a different plane of existence.
You think so?
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, everything that goes near that gets all fucked up, twisted around,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth. And then
The compasses and shit.
Like 20 years later, an empty ship just shows up out of the blue.
Have they ever like researched the trial? They probably have, right? Looking for stuff like that.
Yeah, everything goes missing going into there.
Kevin, have you ever heard of something called the Philadelphia experiment?
No.
It's the same kind of thing you were talking about. It was like it's pointless to bring up unless you've heard of it. But yeah, we were talking about alien movies and shit like that. Yeah, look up. That's fascinating. The Philadelphia experiment. But Mars Attacks to me is the perfect alien movie just because it's funny and Jack Nicholson's in it.
Yeah.
It's
Right?
funny.
It's hilarious.
What about E.T.? You think you'd be throwing that little bastard in the front basket and riding around in front of fucking FBI agents all over the place?
Yeah, but I think there are good, like I said, there are good aliens out there too that don't mean harm at all. Just like dinosaurs. There were dinosaurs that just ate vegetation and didn't eat meat.
Yeah.
And there were other dinosaurs that just went crap house on whatever they could get their hands on,
Yeah.
There's different everything. Everybody's different, but we're all of that one connection, one consciousness. Even animals. We have the connection with animals and stuff like that. We just choose to put our blinders on when we put it on a plate and eat it.
Right?
Are you a vegetarian?
I'm sorry, Adam. I had to bust your balls, bro. I'm sorry.
No, I remember. Last time we were busting each other's balls about this shit. I remember. It's
yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. But
Yeah.
no, like I said, aliens, there's so many different types and so many different things. And for some strange, odd reason, we're in this protected little bubble because whoever they are decided that we should be these little batteries just walking around and doing whatnot. Who really knows what's out in space? Do you have the money to go out in space and verify?
No.
I don't have the money to go out in space.
Yeah, I got just lying around.
Dude,
a ton of bases on the moon, I'll tell you this.
as far as anything, I don't dismiss anything. Even like flat earthers and stuff like that. Have I been up there to see anything? No. I don't know. We don't know. We could all be in the Matrix and be fucking batteries for aliens.
Yo, seriously.
You gotta follow that page. I want that page, the Flat Earth discussion. It is an extremely interesting page but I'm not a huge fan because it's just like a lot of arguing. I think the Earth is round. I think they've made the trip around it a couple of times to prove that. That's my take.
And I'm not dismissing that either. I'm just saying that with such different things that could be going on in this universe, I don't dismiss anything at all.
I know what you're saying. You don't want to like discount anything because listen, dude, I've seen like some flat Earth videos, and I like to bust their balls and shit, but certain times I'm like, yo, imagine if this is because there's some certain shit that I can't wrap my mind around being correct. Like,
where's the wall? Where's the wall where you hit?
Here's one thing that to me, there's two things really. He can't wait. But you can see, like, what is it? Like, you can see, like, from Minnesota, you can see, like, Chicago or some shit. And, like, mathematically, if you follow the curve of the Earth, like, you fucking couldn't possibly physically be able to see that. And then there's the idea, like, right, if you took a basketball, right, and you flip that shit around, like, you got it wet, and you flip that shit around, what would happen to that water? It would go flying off, right? But for some reason on Earth, the water sticks to it, though? How does that fucking make any sense? If the Earth is spinning, like is that what it is?
Yeah,
But if you take
Gravity.
But if you take a basketball, how come the water goes flying up?
A lot of water is heavy, dude. You ever drop a water bottle? Boom. Now imagine like a whole earth of it. It's not going to really just float around in particles.
Listen, I'm not a flat earther. I'm just saying. I've seen some of the videos.
I enjoy the discussions. It's just usually people, when you have that discussion, people are so serious about it. It's like tattooed on them. I'm like, dude, I enjoy the discussion. I can laugh about this. And then they start getting rude. I'm like, have a nice day.
Yeah.
It is interesting.
In order for us to really like start going around aliens and whatnot, we all, as a society, need to change the way we live our lives and love each other and live every day to a fullest and try and help each other out rather than pull each other down. Because, dude, we could accomplish so much together, and it's a shame that we're not even close to. It's like our brain. If we all worked together, we would be functioning at 100%.
Yeah, man.
You know, that's what we need to do in order for us to get to that point where we can unlock like all the attributes in our video games in our brain. We have to get to that different level. We have to vibrate at a different level.
Yeah, man.
And we're not doing that by all this negative stuff.
No.
Crap. You know, it's all set up to keep us at this dysfunctional society where we're never going to get better, where we're just going to be at this baseline of I don't want to be at the
Neither do I.
Yeah, it sucks.
Neither do I.
It does. You know what I mean? I want to love my life. I want to love my family. I want to love, and not just my like, you know, biological family, but everybody. We're all family.
The human family.
All be loving each other. Not just humans. Everybody. Aliens, dude. And that's what a lot of these species are so far ahead of us, as far as everything. You know, and even when it comes to having a civil society, they're so much ahead of us in that. I sometimes think
I would love that.
I've seen a lot of people talking about them. We're a reality show to them, and they're kind of kicking back and drinking and kind of like laughing at us while we're doing stupid shit on this planet.
Yeah,
it's possible.
You know, even everything that's going on right now, dude. Everybody's at home. Like, have you seen? You know, I think I've tried to make my house my fun center. You know what I mean? To clean up all kinds of stuff with myself and everything around, because I think, you know, you see all the negativity and stuff that's going on right now. You need it. That's the only way we're going to get out of this, is if we come together and start. You know, what's that old saying that I haven't heard anyone ever? Love thy neighbor. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look at everybody that's on hallucinogenics, DMT, acid, so on and so forth. They come back in a peaceful, loving, let's help everybody, let's do this. And that's another reason why those materials have not been made accessible to us, because it would bring us all together.
Why don't they want us to?
Look at what cannabis does. Because they're not going to benefit. Money will not be an issue at that point. We will all love each other and help each other out, regardless if money is involved. It's not about money. It's about loving each other. Fuck money. If we all did away with money, we would be better as the earth.
Well, how would you barter? How would you barter? Like how would you get food?
You do it now.
The way that they used to do.
What do they do?
And they do it now. Yeah, the farms, so on and so forth. You know, you're local. You help each other out. There's everybody local that does everything. You just go to these different people and barter and trade.
It's a more localized deal rather than like a globalized like power structure. It's more locally, like, you mean localized like kind of deal? Like, it seems like that's what you're saying.
Getting together, buying a plot of land and setting up shop. That's what it is. That Aquarian society, that you love everybody. I'm going to take care of you, so on and so forth. You take care of me.
Sean, what do you make of all this? What do you think we got to do?
To move forward as a collective society for a positive movement?
Yeah.
Regarding aliens, or what we're dealing with right now, or just in general?
In general, dude. Like, what do humans got to do?
I think Kevin's right. In my honest opinion, with some of the stuff that's been going on, little tests that we've done here and there, like my kids are having issues with the video games. They're arguing because that's all they're doing right now is playing video games after their school, right? They're bored and stuff like that. I think we need to stop exposing young children to things at a young age just because society back in the day, and it just kept going, said that this is what we need to do. And that actually goes into, and I'll preface this before, anybody that believes in religion, I have no problem with that. That's your belief. That's cool. That's yours. It's not mine. I respect yours. I respect mine. I respect your right to talk about or not talk about it, stuff like that. But when it comes to stuff like that, I'm going to compare it to that. Like when you're young, you have to go through all those steps through the church. You got to get your communion. You got to get this. You got to get that. I'm not even going to tie in the priest stuff into it, right? But like you're told, you have to be a good boy. You have to go do this. You have to do a job. You have to do that. You have to get it. Go get the groceries for your mom. Get a newspaper. You know what I mean? Like you have to do all that stuff. And I think if we expose kids to nonsense like technology that they don't need, that an adult, while I'm not paying attention, could hack my son's thing and start talking to him. I don't want to expose them to stuff like that. I'd rather keep their head in things that they enjoy as kids, make sure they're healthy and growing, so we can have a society of young people that we can actually groom and show them things that have been researched the proper way. This is fact, this is fiction. Make your decision what you want to do in the proper way, but always make a decision to try to better your fellow human next to you to move together in a proper society. I think we have to limit what we expose our kids to and really pay attention to. Should my son be playing Call of Duty? He doesn't. But I'm just saying, like, should my 16-year-old daughter be busting my chops because I want to go to the mall? Well, the mall is a different trip now than it was 25 years ago. 25 years ago, you didn't have mall shootings and stuff like that, so I got to worry. So I have to get in an argument with her and stuff like that. And then she has a little bit of independence. She's growing, right? Because she's 16, because she was exposed to all this stuff. I think we need to really put a lot of effort into our youth and really refocus on how we want our society to move forward based off of our effort on putting stuff in our future the right way. Probably fucked that up, but that's the best explanation.
No, I hear what you're saying.
That doesn't mean that bad isn't going to happen, though. I mean, you know, it's just life. You can never appreciate the good without the bad, but by having people that supported me through my darkest times and stuff like that, that was the best thing that I could have ever had, you know. And just imagine, like I said, if we did this on such a global standard and we stood up and said, you know what, enough is enough. This, you know, just going out and screwing everybody over, and just because there's money involved and you guys can buy your way out of whatever and do whatever you want to whoever you want, that's not right. And it's not. Nobody should be above common decency to treat everybody else the way that they would want to be treated. Would that person want to be raped? Would that person want to be shunned or treated differently because they had a third nipple or whatever the case may be? You know, it's not fair, you know, like literally it's sad, and it really, really does sadden my world for my kids that we can't get it together. Like the peoples in the 60s and the 70s had it right, man. They all collectively got together. They all went together on their own properties, and they loved their life, and they lived a full, happy life without stepping on other people's throats to get that happy life.
I'm also a huge believer. I'm a huge believer in karma, and what you just said, that's a lot of karma. You know what I mean? What you put in, you're gonna get out, and sometimes you might get negative stuff. But even a negative situation, you could gain as a positive. If you have that mindset, nothing's got to be negative. You know,
it's all intention. All intention, dude.
And you know what? It takes steps to get there. I feel like I'm just about there. Like I'm almost like fully there. I feel great. Kevin has a third nipple.
I do.
Where is it?
Where is it? Where is it, really?
It's actually nowhere near my nipple either.
That's why I asked.
And it's kind of cool because my tattoo artist worked it into my tattoo.
Are you shitting me?
Nope. It's back there. I don't know if you can see it. Hold on.
Yeah. He made it look like a star.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So we call that my third nipple.
So it has it's got the dots, the aerial, whatever the fuck around it and everything.
Oh, dude, it makes you unique. You know.
It does. I loved it.
Fun.
I'm like, dude, I loved how you worked that third nipple into that whole scene. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
My friends are cool. Does your friend have a third nipple? No, your friends aren't like mine.
Definitely not.
That's awesome. Listen, I freaking love you all. Kevin, I want to talk to you again. Adam, we got to get going Adam's going to work in the morning. This week, this Sunday, I'm going to start pushing. I was talking to Jen earlier. I want to talk to you guys, actually quite a bit of people in the Canada community. I'm going to clean up. I'm going to send out Tiffany's stuff. We have someone who is in the field for treatment for people with trauma, PTSD, with psilocybin, MDMA. Not just that, but she has her own holistic vibrations business, right? She's an independent contractor, and it has to do with plant nutrition, biofeedback, yoga, meditate. Yeah, like that whole realm to get away from drugs and heal yourself the right way. And I just know You guys are into that. A lot of people are into that, and I've had this discussion. We've talked about. I've had it with a bunch of people. Good, bad, and different. And it's just really good to have someone on there. And I want to have a panel of people, so you can't see what I can see, but underneath the screen, there's all these little screens that are real small, and I can click people in. I'm gonna want guests. So Adam and I are gonna want guests. I want a few. He's gonna grab some as well. And we want to give people. I gotta stop saying I. This kid's like my fucking right hand. We want to fucking have people to have like 10 minutes with us, with her, to ask whatever you want. You know what I mean? So we're going to send out some of her stuff. We're going to start pushing it this week for resident. You can kind of look at everything she has going on and be like, oh yeah, and it'd be really cool. And I know that's right up your alley and Maya's alley and a lot of people's, and we can't wait. I can't wait to talk to her about it.
Don't tell me what I like up my
She doesn't want to be told what she likes up her alley.
You can't even tell her that. Only the third nipple can.
No, not even the third nipple, dude. Nobody tells Maya anything. She does what she does, period.
No, trust me. Believe me, Maya has never been, other than like an older mother nurturing. Like when I leave, I get tea, I get a pat on the back, a hug.
Yeah.
Honey, do you have this? You know, are you good to go? Can I leave you on your own?
It's fantastic.
And
do you have your keys before you run into the
and I had I got some chairs for the studio, right, that we have, and they're brand new. You know, they were given to me for free. I'm not selling it. Anything I get for free. Sometimes I get stuff I pay for here. And I was like, hey, you guys want a chair? I got, brand new one, still zip tied. And I was asked, I'm like, no, you can really, I was pressuring Kevin because I was like, they're nice chairs. You have one. Maya's like, we're not taking the chair. It was like the first time she raised her voice. And I was like, the warden has spoken. I will shut the fuck up right now.
Dude, you don't want her to speak.
No, I'm on her good side, man. I'm always going to stay there. If my only incident is a raised voice with a chair, we ain't never talking about chairs again, dude.
Nope.
I love you. I love you, Adam. I cannot explain to you, and Adam too, like he's my dude. This week is going to be good. And then Tuesday, two of the funniest people, and I want to do a couple other people too, are going to be in the same room I've ever met on earth that have been on air. My friend Curtis, he's my brother. My family helped. He lived with us. Like he's my guy. And then Greg Tranquillo has been on. He was like, you got it. And the fact that we'll be all in the same room, I don't want just us four there. I want some people to pop in and be like, what's up? Because you don't need to write anything when you're with those guys. You'll cry laughing just listening. So it's going to be a great week. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Kevin, thank you for coming on. Spot a minute. Appreciate it, brother. Much love, homie. You know that. Maya, love you as well. Hope the kids are all doing good. Hold on, Kevin. And the Marie Browns and Kevin John. Thank you for everybody that commented. Jen, going to reach out to you. Y'all have a great week. Love you. We do have some stuff coming up. Some really cool stuff. Life is good. Quarantine is what you make of people. Make your home your fun center. Focus on yourself and all those things that you could never do before. Now you have time. Love you all. Adam, anything? Kevin, anything?
That's it. Everybody. You summed it up. Me
Vibrate
too.
Higher. You're awesome.
What he said.
Love you.
What'd you say?
Right.
What'd you say?
Higher.
There you go.
Higher.
Love you, homie.
Love you.
All right, everybody. You guys are the best.
Be good. Much love. Be safe. Don't cough. Wash your hands.
Bye.
Boom. Kevin, thanks for coming on, brother.
All right, brother. Love you.